In this tutorial, we will discuss testing rosters and testing profiles. On the Testing Admin page, open View, Analyze, Print Data. There are links for rosters for tests, student testing profiles, and proctor testing profiles. The roster data and profile data is the same data, just organized differently. That's why we have the link View Test Profiles, which is actually the same as rosters for tests. First, we will look at rosters for tests. First, we choose a test. We will choose Algebra 1. The list of proctors changes to only those proctors for Algebra 1 tests. Or we can just click Show Test Rosters without choosing the proctor, and it will show the rosters for all proctors and for students assigned the Algebra 1 test, but who do not yet have a proctor. The first group of students, for example, has been assigned to room B104, but no proctor has yet been specified for that room. Notice, however, that B104 only has 18 seats in it, so the room is overbooked by 25 seats. Scroll down to the next roster. The proctor is Patrick Allen. The room is 103. The capacity of this room was not entered, so it is not shown. One of the things that you can do on this page is add notes for students as well as proctor notes for the room in general. These are the same notes that are collected on the seating charts. For example, let's click on the notes icon for Louis Acosta. I'll add a note. And now I will save the note. It will be available through the seating chart on test day. Similarly, we can add proctor notes by clicking on the notes icon across from the proctor's name. From here, we can go to the testing profiles for any of these students by clicking on their names. If we want to see what tests Vernon Abbott has been assigned to take, we click here on his name. It takes us to the student's testing profile for Vernon. The profile lists all of the tests to which Vernon has been assigned, as well as the proctor if there is one. If we decide we want to change the accommodations for Vernon for one of the tests, we can click on the name of the test, and it takes us to the accommodations for Vernon for that test. And we can modify the accommodations that we choose. Similarly, back on the testing roster page, we can scroll down to a test that has a proctor and click on that proctor's name to take us to his or her proctor testing profile. The proctor testing profile lists all of the tests that a particular proctor has been assigned to. We have links from here to the roster that we were just looking at and to the seating chart. Going back to the Testing Manager admin page, there is another link for testing rosters. This one is for printing testing rosters. It works in the same way, but it will look better when it comes out of the printer. We have been looking at test rosters which show accommodations and other information for teachers. The master rosters show only the student's grade and the room and proctor. Master rosters are appropriate for posting in a public place so that the students can look up the location of their tests. Next, we will look at Student Test Check. This page is useful for doing an overall check of the assignment of students to tests. By default, the page will list all students, and then under each student the tests that that student is assigned to. One way you might use this page is to make sure that everyone who is in the biology class is assigned to take the biology test. So under Student Lists, I am going to select Susan Gordon's biology class. The student list is now restricted to only those students who are in Susan Gordon's biology class. It shows all of the tests that those students are assigned to. But right now we are really only concerned with whether these students are assigned to the biology test. So we select from the test drop-down Biology. The same set of students show below, but now the only test that shows is the biology test. Scrolling down, we notice that Jacob Aguilar is not assigned to the biology test, and he should be, so we click on Add a Test. A menu pops up of the tests and the test with proctors and rooms, and we choose the one that we want to assign Jacob Aguilar to. And now we see that Jacob Aguilar is assigned to the biology test. Perhaps there is someone on the list who should not be taking the biology test. Let's say Francisco Adkins is no longer in the course. We can remove his assignment to the biology test by clicking on the red X next to the biology test name. That removes him from that test. In this tutorial, we have taken a look at rosters for tests, student testing profiles, proctor testing profiles, and the student test check.